So in this video, I want to interview my wife about what it's like to live in Hawaii after 1 year. She's originally from Japan, but she moved to Hawaii about a year ago, last November, and so she kind of understands how life is here. And I think she has a pretty interesting perspective on some of the good things and some of the challenging things about what it takes to actually live in Hawaii. And so here is that interview.
So living in Hawaii for about a year now, it's been good and challenging at the same time. But of course, I think that concept applies to every country that you live in. One of the things I love about Hawaii is obviously the weather. It's really it's warm and it's hot and humid, but not as bad as Japan during the summertime. And it's mostly sunny except the rainy season. But then even the rainy season, like it doesn't rain for the whole day. It just kind of rains a little bit and then it stops, and then I don't really see that many people using umbrella for the whole day like how it is in Japan. I really like how the weather in Hawaii, it's mostly sunny, not too cold obviously, except there were times I had to kind of wear layers of clothes, but then it's still bearable. It's not like it goes down to like 0 degrees in Celsius or 32 degrees in Fahrenheit where you need like down jackets and stuff. So it's very comfortable.
What do you wear on a typical day?
Like this kind of no sleeve. For me at least, I wear like no sleeve or a t-shirt. I don't wear shorts because I don't feel comfortable exposing my legs, I guess. But t-shirts, tank tops, and I just carry a jacket just in case if I ever needed one, because indoors tend to be cold, very cold because of the AC. So yeah, I always just carry a jacket just in case as well. Oh yeah, the food! It's very ono, which means delicious. I mean, I don't really go out and eat that much, but then I love the Hawaiian foods. My favorite food of all is acai bowl. Acai bowl is so good. Also, poke is very good, which is like a cube cut tuna, basically marinated with all different kind of sauce. I love malasada, which is like a deep fried donut. I think my husband has a video about visiting Leonard's. But yeah, I love, well, that's more like kind of Portuguese snack, but still very famous snack and for locals here in Oahu. I mean, in Hawaii. If you're like a gourmet person where you like to go out and like try all these foods, I think you will love this place. Oh yeah, it's just that like when you're in America, not just in Hawaii, but I just love how I don't feel pressured that I don't have to wear makeup every single day like how I used to feel in Japan. I guess it's just a part of a culture or courtesy in a way to kind of dress up nicely and like wear makeup to make yourself look good in public. But here it's like it's so casual that it's like who cares what you wear or what you put on your face and how you represent yourself outside once you step out of that door in your house. I mean, I don't know, I just like how you don't really worry about how people looks at you or judge you based on your appearance. And like I just like the freedom of not being pressured. It's not like I don't like wearing makeup, but then just sometimes it's a hassle to put makeup to go outside for a quick walk or whatever. It's just pain in the butt. But yeah, here you don't have to really worry about that, well, except putting a sunscreen, I guess, for all the strong sunlight. Of course, there is always a challenging side of living in different countries. For example, for here, I felt that, I mean, the transportation system is not as accurate as Japan, obviously. When everything is on time, and here in Hawaii, it's like, well, if you don't have a car, you basically have to walk or take a bus. And then, I mean, bus system is not bad, but I think it can do better. Sometimes there are strangers on the bus where it looks like, I don't know, that person could be a homeless, or like I've gone on the bus where this person's, I guess he was a heavy smoker, and then like oh, the smell of smoke was just completely killing me, or like there was this person, that person looked like a homeless person. I just didn't feel safe. So I've never felt that kind of insecurity when I was on the bus in Japan or when I was on the train. So that's something that I just have to get used to. And then now I'm not really too scared to go on the public transportation, but I just prefer to have somebody drive me. I mean, obviously, but yeah, that was something that is completely different from Japan. And also the safetyness was something that really shocked me, because I did not realize how on the Oahu, if like certain areas are so unsafe to go on your own, even like during the day, I guess sometimes you don't feel safe because of, I hear all these news, and then locals will tell you which areas are safe to go and unsafe to go. Even within Waikiki itself, it's like if you stay on the main street, you're okay, but as soon as you go on those little narrow path, like there's possibility that you might get like your purse snatched, or like there's so many news on the TV nowadays that like all these Japanese people or Japanese tourists are being targeted, or tourists in general are being targeted for the like purse snatching and all that. So it's like even at night especially, it's like I would never ever go walk outside unless I'm with my husband. So that the feeling unsafeness was completely different when I used to take last train back home at like 12 something a.m. and then I've never felt like unsafe. But it's just, yeah, there are a lot of homeless people here too, and that you don't really see on those, the tourist books. It's like they just covered all that kind of bad side of Hawaii. So that's the unsafe, the feeling of unsafe is one of the major issues that I feel like they have in Hawaii. Oh yeah, the cost of living is very expensive. I was never aware of how much things cost until I started actually living here, not as a tourist but as a resident. Because when you come here as a tourist, you don't really care of how much you spend, I guess. Well, you can keep in track of how much you spend, but then you're on a vacation, so you don't really care because you've worked so hard to earn this vacation and spend money on food or shopping or whatever you want to do with the money. But then as soon as you become a resident and see the reality of living in Hawaii, it's surprising. It's something that I did not see and recognize until I started living here. I remember my husband always kept telling me about the reality of living in Hawaii and how things are so expensive, and it is normal to have two incomes and stuff like that. But I never understood that until I moved here. So yeah, cost of living is just ridiculously expensive. It's not too bad at our condo because we have mortgage, but the rents are quite ridiculous for like considering how old the buildings could be, and how the facilities is not that good anyway, but still it's expensive. Yeah, the food, it's like I didn't realize a lot of foods are imported from mainland or wherever they import it from. So they just add extra bucks, and then the quality itself is not that good compared to the foods in Japan. I mean, nothing can beat the quality of food in Japan. So and now that we came back from like 3 weeks of trip in Japan too, so it's like it's just so shocking to see how things are different here, and yeah, the quality is not as good.
So I just want to thank my wife. She did a great job interviewing and answering all my questions about how it is to live in Hawaii. I know it's been a fun year.
Yeah, of course we had our ups and downs.
Yeah, but it's been a fun year, and I hope that this might help you in case you're curious how life is for someone who just moved here, and after a year maybe how they will feel or how you might feel if you decide to come to Hawaii. So thanks for watching this video, and aloha.